it's me, Kathy. Welcome in. I had some ingredients that I found in my freezer and it gave me an idea. And today we're going to use some ground beef. And I had black-eyed peas left over from my Hoppin' John on New Year's Day and some other stuff. And we're gonna make black-eyed pea soup. And it's gonna be good, and let's get it done. We have our stock pot over medium heat. And the first thing we're gonna do is cook our ground beef. We're gonna bust it up. Our ground beef is beginning to cook. We're gonna break it up and let it cook till it's no longer brown. And then if we need to, we're gonna drain off the fat. Our ground beef is cooked and not that much fat in the pan, so I'm gonna leave what's in there, but I am gonna remove the meat. And we're gonna set it aside on a plate. There's about a tablespoon of fat left in this pan, and we're gonna keep it on medium heat or a little lower than medium. And I have chopped up some celery, carrots, and onions to make our mirepoix, because that's where all soup begins. And we're gonna season up these vegetables and cook them till they're pretty softened. The black-eyed peas need to be cooked some more, so we don't have to cook them till they're completely softened. But we're gonna get them down there. Let's blend them up. We're gonna season them up with some salt and pepper. We're using beef broth in this soup, and that's saltier than chicken, so we don't need a whole lot of salt. And some cumin. I like a lot. Some smoked paprika. And just a little pinch of crushed red pepper flake. Just a wee one. Incorporate these seasonings into our mirepoix. And in a few minutes, when they're softened up, or beginning to soften up, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Our vegetables are softening up nicely, and now it's time to add some chopped garlic. Chopped fresh garlic. Incorporate that into our veggies. Let this cook down another 1 or 2 minutes till the garlic is fragrant. And then we're going to start building our soup. Now it's time for our meat to go back in. And our black-eyed peas. So glad to have found something to do with these. My favorite thing to make back in the day was regular pea soup. Black-eyed peas are more like beans than peas. But let's stir those together. Break up our beef. This is going to make a big pot of soup. And here comes our next ingredients. Next thing that's going in is a can of petite diced and drained tomatoes. And the next thing is some rotel undrained. And a few more diced green chilies. And let's stir that up too. Lots of flavor. Next thing that's going in is about 4 cups of beef broth. I have turned the heat up to high because I want to bring this soup to a boil. And once it's boiled, we'll turn it down and let it simmer the rest of the beef base. Get that in there. Stir that around. We may need to add some more stock to this. We'll see how it goes. I kind of like it sort of stewy anyway, so maybe we'll just leave it just like this. And now for a little extra flavor, we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. And I thought a little sweetness would be good, so some molasses. That's enough. And now we're going to stir this up, bring it up to a boil, and let these vegetables cook down and soften up. And the beans, sorry, the black-eyed peas. Kitty be talking too. Kelly's talking, Caddy's talking. Okay, let's check back when we're at the boiling point. We have reached our boil, and it smells so good. I've turned the heat down to medium-low, and we're gonna let this simmer for about 20 minutes. And we'll test those carrots and make sure they're soft, and the black-eyed peas, and make sure those are soft too. Actually, there's something else I'm gonna do in 15 minutes, so stay tuned. We're simmering away, and I also had in my freezer, but they're not frozen, I pulled them out, is some corn, and I thought that would go good with these other ingredients. So in we go. Add some nice color, and we're going to continue until the carrots are softened. It's probably going to be about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to serve it up and eat it up, and I think we're going to love it. Well, we're still simmering away, but I have turned the heat off, and right now we're going to test these vegetables. The most important ones are the carrots and the beans. So let's give these carrots a poke. Oh yeah, nice and tender. And the beans, nice and tender as well. And now we're gonna put this in a bowl and give it a taste. Here's our black-eyed pea soup in a bowl. Colorful, smelling good. And now we're gonna top it off. Because this is very similar to chili, I'm going to put a little dollop of sour cream on top, or dollops. Get in there, you. Add a little sprinkle of shredded cheddar. And here we have it, black-eyed pea soup. And let's give it a taste. Thank you for joining me while I took my leftover ingredients and made this black-eyed pea soup out of it. And now let's take a taste. This bowl's kind of hot. We got us a nice little spoonful, and we're ready to go in. So yummy. I'm glad that I decided to do that with those ingredients, because it's starting to get warm and soup is going to be a lesser part of our diet. But today it's going to be a good one. And have a great one, and we'll see you soon.